What is going on? Let me go live on all platforms and we will be live momentarily. Give it a second here. All right, we should be good to go. All right, guys. What is going on? Happy freaking Saturday. We made it through another freaking week, right? That being said, the weekend is also the number one time where most people fall off from the freaking fitness goals. So make sure we are staying on this crap, guys. Like, this is not a time to back off. This is a time to double down. Make sure that the weekends, I'm telling y'all, the weekends are the number one thing that keep people back because they'll be good Monday through Thursday. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, people will be trash. Don't make that same mistake, right? This is the exact same reason why 73% of the population is overweight. If you don't want to be part of that statistic anymore, guess what? You're going to have to start making some changes. And one of the biggest changes you can make is changing up what you're doing on the weekend, right? That being said, it's going to kind of lead us into what we're talking about today. This week, we've been covering a lot of stuff about psychology, right? We've been talking a lot about habit forming, the subconscious. Today, we're going to tie this all into why this all matters, and that's going to be your identity, right? There's plenty of studies on this, but I'll go ahead and give you a study right now. Osterman 2009 Annual Review of Psychology proves self-identity drives behavior more than goals do, okay? So it's not about setting goals. It's not about saying, hey, I want to lose 20 pounds. Like, that's very important. Don't get me wrong, because I'm very big about goal setting. In fact, I'll probably do some live streams for you guys here in the future about goal setting. I know I've already done them in the past. Goal setting is extremely important because if you don't set a goal, guys, the goals are there to help tell you exactly what you need to do, right? Like, if you want to lose 20 pounds, guess what? You're not going to do the same exact process in fitness as you would be doing with someone who wants to gain 15 pounds of muscle. It's not the same thing, right? You need goals. Goals just tell you what to do, but they don't help you show the fuck up, right? So that's where the self-identity part comes in, guys. Like, you don't get what you want because identity is the ceiling, right? And if you don't raise that ceiling, you'll self-sabotage yourself back to the old you. This is huge. This is why habits are super important. This is why the subconscious mind and understanding how to control that part is extremely freaking important because, guys, it doesn't matter if you set a goal. It matters if you identify with the goal you're trying to reach, right? Here's the problem. Most people who want to lose 30 to 50 pounds, most people who want to gain 10 to 15 pounds of muscle, most people who are out of shape and want to get in shape don't identify as a fit person, okay? That alone is going to make this process extremely freaking difficult for you. Because if you don't identify as a fit person, you're probably not going to show up like you should be. You're not going to, this is what we talk about, guys. I want to bring in imposter syndrome, okay? This is a term you guys throw around all the time. You see this on the internet all the time. Most of you guys have no idea what that even means. You don't even know how to relate it to your own life, even though you're probably going through it all the time. I'll give you a prime example of imposter syndrome in the fitness community, right? How many times have you guys seen someone, this is probably you guys, like I said, a lot of people go through this. How many times have you gone into a gym, like you got a gym membership, you're finally like, I'm gonna get fit this time. Like, I'm tired of the way my body feels. I'm tired of what I'm looking at in the mirror. I want to get fit, right? But you won't necessarily tell yourself I'm a fit person. And it makes sense why, guys. You've never been a fit person. Why would you tell yourself that? You may be trying to get fit, the goal, right? But you don't identify as a fit person. And what happens when that kind of thing happens, guys, I see this is something I see happen all the freaking time. Is someone will get a gym membership, they'll walk into the gym for one day, they don't know what they're doing, they don't resonate with a lot of the people in there because they're new. They're like the new kid on the block. They're the new kid at school, right? They don't identify with being where they're at because they're obviously, guys, it's new. Of course you don't, right? It's very obvious that of course you're not going to feel super connected with this new thing because it's new, right? And so this is exactly the process. The person will get a gym membership, walk into the gym, get on cardio for do like some cardio equipment for 5 to 10 minutes, and then they'll walk out and they'll keep that gym membership and never go back for 6 months. Okay? That's imposter syndrome. A lot of you guys do this all the time. I see people do this all the time when it comes to the fitness game. They start the fitness game, and this is exactly the pattern that they repeat over and over and over and over again because they're not focusing on the psychological process of this. Guys, I tell this to my clients all the time. I can give you the perfect game plan for your goals. I can know exactly what you want to do. I can make the perfect layout of exactly what you're going to do. And if you follow that layout, I can literally guarantee results if you follow the layout to a T, right? But if you don't show the fuck up, none of that matters. None of it. It doesn't matter how good of a workout program you have. It doesn't matter how good of a nutrition meal plan you have. If you don't do any of that actionable stuff, it doesn't fucking matter. Okay? So we got to make sure we understand that part, guys. What the issue is not the game plan. I get so many people coming to me and be like, I need more clarity on what I need to do. I need a better game plan. I need to make sure that what I'm doing is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. But that's not what you need. What you need is to start fucking moving and taking action. Right? You need to start trying to make sure that you are doing the damn thing so that you can identify as a fit person. Otherwise, you simply are not going to show up like it's required to get the results that you want. You're just not, because you don't identify with that person. Here's the way the brain works, guys. The brain seeks congruence. If actions conflict with identity, you're going to quit. Right? Again, another great example is a smoker who says, I'm trying to quit versus someone who says, I'm not a smoker. Identity. You guys see what I'm saying here? And the reason this is so important for habit forming in the subconscious is because the way you identify yourself is going to explain the way you talk to yourself in your own brain. Right? Like all of us do this to an extent. How many of you guys put yourself down whenever something happens? Right? Like it's personally to you. Even if it's something good, sometimes we have such big imposter syndrome that you still put yourself down, right? Let's say you had a killer workout. You haven't had a good workout like that in months. But if you don't identify as a fit person, there are people that will go like, oh, man, I'm just out of shape and I'll always be out of shape. Like imposter syndrome in the biggest, like it's right there in front of you guys. You see what I'm saying? Like this is such a big thing for people because you don't realize how much, this is the reason. I'll tell you this right now. This is the reason people don't see results. This is the reason that people have a hard time showing up for workouts. This is the reason people struggle to stick to a diet. It's because they don't identify that person with themselves. And so, how do we fix this? Exactly what we talked about earlier this week, guys. Your habits. Because your habits are going to influence your subconscious, and your subconscious is going to influence your identity, right? So what's a great example? I just gave you guys one, right? Affirmations. Okay? Like, and when I say affirmations, guys, it doesn't necessarily have to be like you say the same things every day, even though that is a definite, like, that is a research thing that we know works very well. I would do that, right? But it's not even just that. It's the way you talk to yourself in your brain. It's the way you talk to yourself out loud. Like, how many times, guys, have you fucking bumped into something and you go, oh, I'm such a fucking idiot? You see? And now you're thinking in your head, I'm an idiot. You're identifying as an idiot. And I know that some of you guys say, oh, I'm just joking when I say that. But I guarantee you, to a certain extent, you're not. To a certain extent, you do believe that you're not very smart. To a certain extent, you like same thing with the same thing with someone who doesn't feel like they're a fit person, or someone who tells themselves like they just got done eating McDonald's and they go, "Oh, I'm a fat fuck." Right? Why are you calling yourself that? Do you guys see the problem here? This is because you have no idea of the gravity of the situation. Every time you do that, you're ingraining something into your subconscious mind to talk to yourself this way, even when you aren't speaking out loud. When you're just thinking thoughts and you're ruminating. And that's the worst thing you could ever fucking do. Don't ever ruminate if you can help it. If you catch yourself ruminating, which is just sitting there thinking about shit that's not actually, you're not taking action, right? Like you're ruminating about past events. That, guys, that's a number one sign of depression. That's a number one sign that you're going to lead yourself to depression. Don't do that shit, okay? Human beings are not designed to do that. Human beings are designed to live their life and think about moving forward, not thinking about the past. You can use the past to help you, learn from it, but it's not there to make yourself feel bad about yourself. That's where you're getting tied into this identity problem, right? Because if you're sitting there telling yourself, oh, I'm an idiot, I'm a bad person, I'm a fat fuck, dogs barking, all just because, of past events, then you're never going to lead a path to the future. You guys see what I'm saying here? Like, this is a fucking problem. If we can't make sure that we are talking to ourselves in a very good way and in a manner that's going to help propel us into the future, you're going to stay stuck forever. It's never going to change. And it's simply because you don't believe in yourself enough to show up the way you need to show up. Identity is everything, guys. You have to tell, like, literally, guys, one of my affirmations that I do every day, like, I'll go ahead and tell you guys my affirmations. Because I say these every fucking day. I haven't said them this morning, so it'd be a good time for me to do my affirmations, right? I have a total of 8 right now that I do every day. I do these actually, most of the time I do them twice a day. Sometimes I mess around and I only get them like in once a day. But like, I treat it like prayer, guys. And when I say I treat it like prayer, like I take it as serious. Like if I don't do it that day, I take it as a mental hit of like, hey dude, you fucked up. You shouldn't have done that. That's not an okay thing for me to do, to skip these affirmations. Why? Because they form the foundations of my subconscious, which is going to form the basis of my identity, which is going to form the basis of my everyday, day-to-day actions. Right? So, like, here we go, right? I'll go ahead and list them out for you guys. I have them listed them out right here. These, I'm so used to saying these, I could almost say them with my eyes closed. We'll start off. 1, I am a disciplined athlete. I say that every day. I say it multiple times a day. I am a disciplined athlete. Right? A lot of the ones I'll tell my clients to say is, I'll tell them all the time, you need to literally say out loud, I am a fit person. Don't say shit like, I'm a fat fuck, or I'm being a fat, I'm such a fatty. I hear people say that all the time jokingly, and guys, I understand that you're joking, right? But you got to understand that, like, most of you guys are saying this on a whim and not thinking to your head, oh, I'm just joking, I'm not being serious. That if you say that stuff, it's really important that you say that to yourself, or at least understand that you're in a joking mood and not be self-deprecating to yourself, because that's going to build a subconscious mind that's going to lead you to not show the fuck up for yourself. All right, listen, I get it. It's fun to be funny sometimes. You like to be that comedic humor, but it's not, guys, it should never be on the whim of, like, literally your mental health, because that's what you're doing. And I understand it doesn't feel like that. You feel like you're just being around people, but guys, that's called a sheep mentality. You're in herd think. That's group think. That's what's happening. Okay? I know that's hard to imagine because you're like, no, it's not. I'm just hanging out with my buddy. Yeah, dude, your buddies are part of the group. The peers. It's called peer pressure. It's real. Okay, you'll see other people doing it, and then you'll just start doing it yourself. You can't do that stuff, man. You have to think for yourself, even if that means being the black sheep, being the odd one out. And a lot of you are very scared of that. A lot of people are very scared of feeling like they can be picked out or singled out. And I get it. There's a very human reason why that's the case, but it's holding you back. You got to make sure you're not following that same path, because if you want to leave the identity of being a fat person, or of being an unhealthy person, or of being an unfit person, then you're going to have to kill off that old version. Literally, it's called ego death, fam. You have to literally kill that identity so you can attain a new one. And that means that when we're talking about sacrifices, this is the kind of shit we mean when we mean making sacrifices. Not hanging around the wrong type of people, right? The friends of yours that literally drink every weekend and do nothing but drink when they go out. What is that helping you with? You got to cut that kind of shit off, right? This is what I mean. A lot of you hear that and you go, oh, but I love my friends. Listen, I love my friends too. But listen, if they're getting in the way of me doing what I need to do, my goal on this planet Earth, or more importantly, they get in the way of my health, right, which is going to affect everything I do on this planet Earth, then it's a non-negotiable. I don't care if that affects them. This is my life too, right? A lot of you guys aren't talking this way because you aren't even saying, you're not talking to yourself this way. Identity is everything. Because if you don't identify with this stuff, you're just simply not going to do it. We'll go through some more of my affirmations, because I say that I'm going to go through my affirmations. You got to understand, these affirmations are designed specifically for me. I wanted to spend some time on I'm a disciplined athlete, because the reason for that is that's something I can relate to a lot of you guys, because a lot of you guys are trying to be a little bit more fit, a little bit more healthy, a little bit less fat, right? So this is the kind of stuff, like, you got to say this stuff. Like, I am a fit person is a really good affirmation for most people, right? Because if you tell yourself I am a fit person and you say that every day, I promise you the next time you consider not tracking your calories when you need to be tracking your calories, that's going to pop up in the back of your head. I promise you, the next time you think about skipping your workout, that thought's going to pop up in the back of your head. I promise you, the next time you think about going to bed an hour late when you need to be going to bed an hour early, that's going to pop into the back of your head. Okay?
that voice that tells you to be like more disciplined is louder when you identify with being that kind of person. But you have to ingrain this into your subconscious, or you just won't. You're going to get stuck into what the bubble you are in is talking about. Your peers, the people you're watching on Instagram and TikTok. And I don't think I have to talk very much on why that's a bad fucking idea. The people on social media, for the most part, are idiots that just post all the fucking time. And I say this as a content creator, but I also say this as a content creator that I can't hardly stand going through TikTok, going through Facebook, going through Instagram. I can't fucking stand it. It's full of a bunch of fucking shit I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear that bullshit. I don't want to hear all this, man, my life sucks, blah, blah. I don't want to hear that fucking trash. It's trash. It's a bunch of garbage and complaining that doesn't help anybody other than the fact that it may make that third person who's posting that, whatever the fuck they're posting about, make them feel better and make them feel a little bit more validated in their emotions. And fuck that. That is not what I'm here to do. I'm here to help provide value to you guys, right? I'm here to hopefully, while some of you guys get lost in the, ether that is fucking social media with all these TikToks and stuff that's getting you distracted from your goals, I'm hoping that my piece of content is like a freaking needle in a haystack for you guys, and you find something that's actually going to help you take action and get the fuck off your phone, right? Because that shit drives me bananas. That shit drives me batshit crazy. Because I see all these people with problems that I don't deal with because I'm a disciplined fucking athlete, right? I don't sit here and complain about shit. Now, I'll tell you this. I will try to connect with you guys and talk to you guys about struggles that I am going through, but I don't do that to complain. I do that to connect with you guys so that you guys can see that I'm a human being too, and that if I'm a human being, that means, and you're a human being, that the stuff I'm doing is stuff that you can do too, right? I do that to connect with you guys, not to sit there and complain all day fucking long like a 20-year-old on TikTok. Like, that shit drives me bananas. It drives me nuts. I can't stand it. I literally can't even scroll on TikTok anymore. It drives me that much bananas, which is a good thing, right? I need to be posting, not scrolling. But that being said, let's go through these affirmations so you guys can get an understanding of like how I personally do the affirmations. So first off, you guys got the first affirmation. I am a disciplined athlete, right? I say that every morning, and I believe that with every fiber of my being because I say it every morning. And not only do I say it every morning, I also visualize what I'm doing that day that's going to make these affirmations true. And I don't just say these affirmations once a day. I say them multiple times a day, usually, right? There are definitely, like on the weekends, sometimes I'm a little bit off with it. But I do try and do them at least once a day. Typically, like a Monday through Friday when it's the work week and I'm going really hard, especially with work, I'll do it twice a day around like noon. And so what I'll do is I'll say my affirmations for the day, and then I will visualize how I'm going to actually be this type of person, right? And then around noon, and typically, guys, I sometimes will do this 3 times a day. In the afternoon, I'll actually re-say these affirmations, and then I will visualize, okay, what's one thing I did this morning that actually made me get closer to that, what I'm talking about, right? I have to visualize, I have to see it in my mind, right? I have to imagine this, because that is a big part of this, guys, is if you can start thinking about this way, you're starting to set up your subconscious mind to start thinking in this process. Like I said, what that does is it makes that disciplined voice on the side of your shoulder, the one that tells you to go to the gym and not skip, the one that tells you to track and not skip that, like that voice in your head gets louder and louder and louder each time you fucking do this. And it becomes almost impossible not to do this because then it's habitual. And if it's habitual, it's stuck into your subconscious and it's going to be so much easier to identify with. If it's easier to identify with, I promise you will show up way fucking more. I promise you. I can guarantee it. I have way too many client results to show me anything different, right? This is something we do with my clients, like intentionally with the training. We do daily challenges to ingrain this habitual nature. And the daily challenges are sometimes affirmations in their own form. Last week, I had my clients literally write out what their goals were. I had them write it out and take a picture and post it to me. That is actionable. That is something that's going to ingrain into your subconscious. You guys see what I'm talking about here? Like, this is stuff that they work so well that not only are there tons of studies on it, like, again, I could bring up a ton real quick. just for example, the stuff we're talking about today, let me get this pulled up real quick because I do have a list of them. But like Osterman D, 2009, Identity-Based Motivation and Consumer Behavior. Duhigg, The Power of Habit. James Clear, Atomic Habits, which is a book you guys can actually go read. Every action is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. Again, this is a huge, if you guys haven't heard of Atomic Habits, that's a book that's actually pretty popular out there nowadays. It actually talks a lot about what we're talking about here. I do recommend you guys go read it because it goes over a lot of this stuff. But that being said, like this is, I say all that so you guys understand this is not some woo-woo bullshit. This is not just like a therapy session with you guys. This is actual psychology science to explain why you struggle with showing the fuck up for anything fitness or anything you want to be successful at. It's because you don't identify with it. So you need to fucking work on that because I promise you, 99% of people, it is the reason you are fucking out of shape and you are tired of seeing what the fuck you were seeing in the mirror or how you feel every time you wake up in the morning is not because you don't have the perfect game plan. It's not because you don't have the perfect meal plan. It's because you don't identify with the fucking person you're trying to become. Okay, so we gotta work on that, or we gotta work on that in two ways. One, you gotta start becoming more like that person, and the only way you're gonna do that is how committed you are, right? Or the second option is the person you're trying to become may not even be someone you really care to be like. And in that case, you're lying to yourself and you need to figure out who the fuck you're trying to be like. But I promise you this right now, guys, there's not one person that is ever going to watch this stuff and think, oh yeah, I want to be a less fit person. Oh yeah, I want to be a less healthy person. That's not going to help anybody, right? So like when it comes down to fitness, I can tell you right now, you need to identify with being a healthy, fit person. Right? Again, that's an affirmation for you guys right here. But again, I wanted to give you guys my affirmations just to kind of connect with you guys and let you know, like, this is not stuff I'm just talking about or stuff I make my clients do. I do this. I do this all the time. Right? So, again, you guys know my affirmations. Again, when we delve into these affirmations, they're going to be a lot more designed for me, my business, what I'm doing stuff for. But it'll give you guys an idea of kind of like what you need to do. Like, you need to set these up to base around limiting beliefs, right? So that you can destroy those limiting beliefs and fucking progress forward, right? So again, my affirmations, number one, you guys already know, I am a disciplined athlete. I say that every fucking day. Number two, I am a provider who builds wealth to protect and grow my people. See, guys, for me, for a long time, I really struggled with the imposter syndrome when I was growing my business, especially early on, where I would highly undervalue myself. Right? Like super to an extreme point. Guys, I've been training people for over a decade and I would undervalue the shit out of myself because I didn't understand how the business worked. I didn't understand how much value I actually had until I started comparing like me to other personal trainers. And that helped a lot. That helped a lot. I'm definitely way ahead of the game than most personal trainers. Simply because I've been doing this for 10 fucking years and I have a shit ton of client results to prove it, right? This is what you see how I'm talking about this now? Like a couple years ago, Chase would be kind of like, yeah, I think I'm kind of like this. Like, no, like the belief I feel about this, like not only have I stacked up evidence to prove this to myself to get rid of that like limiting belief, but at the same time, like it's something that it's the affirmations, it's the way I'm thinking about myself that have also built this belief in myself that what I am doing is to help protect and grow my people. And I don't just mean my family and my friends, I mean my clients, because my clients, like, dude, I'm telling, like, when it comes to my clients, I take them so fucking serious when it comes to like how much I treat them in regard. Like I treat them in higher regard than friends. And I'm not kidding. Right? Like, because there's a difference between friends and family. A lot of my close friends are my family, right? But like, at least in my mind, that's how I consider them. But like, for most like individuals, like my casual like friends, that no, my clients come before you, straight up. Sorry, fam. That's just the reality. Because my clients are very fucking important to me. They're a huge part of my identity. They're the reason I wake up every fucking morning. Okay? They give me purpose in my life. They come very high on my totem pole. Right? And so when I say I'm a provider who builds wealth to protect and grow my people, I'm not just talking about my family. I'm talking about my business. I'm talking about like investing into my business so that I can help give more value to my people so they can get more results faster, right? For example, one thing, if I didn't have this affirmation like this is the kind of limiting belief that would mess me up, right? I just got done spending $750 this week on my business. That's stuff for Like one of the things I just got done doing, which I don't want to talk too much about it because it's not done, but one of the things I just got done doing is I just got done hiring a doctor of physical therapy to create warm up and cool down protocols for my clients so I can make sure we are focusing on injury prevention on the warm up and cool down part, so that when they're doing my workouts, they can go all out and absolutely go balls to the wall and not have to worry about injuring themselves and not have to worry about missing stuff that's going to help prevent injury in the future and longevity in the future, right? I've spent a good chunk of change on that. The past me would be like, oh, I just don't have money for that. I'm just going to keep training them the way I do. I'm not going to, invest into this. I can do this by myself. I just don't have the money for that. Like, no, fuck that. I don't care if I'm broke. I got to go get a credit card for my people. I'm a provider who builds wealth to protect and grow my people. You guys see what I'm talking about here? Like, there are a lot of people who are afraid of freaking spending money on investing in themselves, let alone other people, right? And so, like, if I would have let that hold me back, that's literally holding not only me back, it's holding my clients back, it's holding my family back, it's holding the people I'm trying to grow for. And that's not negotiable, dude. I'm a fucking disciplined athlete, okay? Not negotiable. The other one I do is, again, a lot of these are based around limiting beliefs, but number 3, I'm a leader who helps others evolve, right? For a long time, imposter syndrome really got me as far as viewing myself as a leader. Guys, the first 5 years as a personal trainer, I didn't even think about that in my head. Even though I kind of knew that was something that you don't get to be a coach and not be a leader. It's just not going to fucking happen. You better not be a coach if you don't want to be a leader, right? Because that's what a coach is. And so I really struggled with, like, one thing I would do for like the first like 3 to 4 years of being a trainer is, especially in-person training, is I would treat my clients too much like friends. And then that would limit me from helping them evolve. Like, no, dude, I'm not your friend. I'm your fucking coach, right? We have to have that boundary set, because otherwise it's not like I don't want to be your friend. It's that, like, if I am your friend, it's going to be really hard for me to tell you you're fucking up. Because guess what, dude? None of your friends are out there telling you, hey, dude, you're fucking up. You're not hitting the gym. None of your friends are out there telling you, hey, dude, why the fuck are you eating that food? That's terrible for you. None of your friends are out there telling you, hey, dude, you probably need to stop drinking and smoking all the fucking time. It's killing you. None of your friends are saying that shit. Okay? It builds a relationship that makes it hard to break those boundaries, because they have built so much trust in you that they feel like they can share with you all these things that they're not doing great with in life, and act like that you're not going to try and judge them for it, right? Which is what a friend does, but it's not what a coach does. That's literally what my people pay me for, right? So that's a problem. That cannot be the case. It cannot be, because it does get in the way of me helping them evolve, right? So I have to base things on, I am a leader. I have to show up like a leader, and I have to lead the way for people so that like I'm leading a fucking torch through the dark. Because a lot of people out here, especially people I'm trying to help, they get lost, right? And I've got to lead. The reason we call my system the Savage Standard is because there is a standard to be upheld. And I've got to be the one that's on that standard all the time so I can lead the way for my people, right? That's the difference. I am their comrade, but I am their leader first. I am not their friend. It is very important that I say that out loud. I am their leader, and I'm here to help them evolve. That is huge. Right? The next one is, I am a coach with a decade of experience and results that speak louder than doubt. This goes back to my limiting beliefs that will be like, because again, guys, like, it's just because I know you guys watch my stuff and you go like, man, that guy looks super confident. You got to understand the reason I look super confident is because I worked on it, because I used to be very self-conscious. There's a reason you guys see a fat chase in my before pictures. Okay. I was a self-conscious fat fuck for a reason, right? And that the big thing here is that limiting belief would get into the back of my head, and I would live like, again, that I would have that identity. I call it fat chase. I would have the identity of fat chase, right? And I hate fat chase. All my friends from back in the day love fat chase, because fat chase used to get drunk with them, party with them, have a good old fashioned like time, and like I wouldn't be on my stuff. Like I was loosey goosey, man. I was floating through life, but I hated myself, right? So like that's the thing, that this is why it's so important for me to be an individual and not be a sheep and get stuck in that herd mentality. Is you just start floating through life and you act like everything's okay, even though you hate what you see in your mirror and you hate yourself. You hate how you don't show up for yourself, right? Because it's like that shit, I don't care who you are, and you can sit here and say this whole thing of like self-help, like, oh, you don't have to feel that way. That doesn't change how you feel. That doesn't change the fact that, like, if you aren't showing up for yourself, it doesn't matter what anyone says to you, you are gonna feel like a piece of shit. Why? Because you're a human being and you're designed to move on this planet. And when you're going against nature like that, yeah, there's gonna be a side effect. So, like, I made a fucking change. And that's why I have to tell myself this kind of stuff. I have a decade of experience. I'm not just someone who's been doing this for a couple months. I've been doing this for over 10 years, training people. I've been training myself for 15, right? So it's one of those things that I'll get caught up in, like, you know, the old fat chase mentality is like, oh, maybe you don't know what you're doing. Maybe you don't have, you know, maybe you don't know more than people when it comes down to the fat loss. Or maybe that one commenter that doesn't have a fucking profile picture on TikTok who commented is like, oh, who the fuck's this dude? Maybe he's right. Maybe he knows what he's talking about and I don't. Let's be so fucking for real, okay? I am a coach with a decade of fucking experience and results that speak louder than my doubt. All I gotta do anytime I think of those thoughts is, for one, say this affirmation, but just go scrolling through my fucking TikTok page. There is handfuls of client transformations, right? At a certain point, when does it become proof and not just a thought? Okay? That is a certain thing. This is what I mean. Like, guys, there's a reason I say this shit every fucking day. It's super important because I'll promise you, a lot of these things, when you set these up, at first, you're going to sit there and tell yourself, I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't know if I'm saying that just to say that or if I'm saying that to lie to myself. I don't know. And then over time, you start realizing, like, wait a minute. I'm starting to see the patterns. Wait a minute. I'm starting to notice there's actually proof of this affirmation. And then it becomes undeniable. Once it becomes undeniable, you know there's no going back. You know the truth, right? But a lot of you get stuck behind limiting beliefs that keep you stuck in the same loop of thought, and it keeps you from pushing forward. You see what I mean? Right? I don't want to stick too long on any one thing, but these are just a few different ones that I have. I'll kind of run through the last few, but the value I provide transforms lives beyond the number I charge, right? I charge what my expertise is worth because my clients deserve the best. I hold convictions in my beliefs, even if they sound crazy or unpopular. I know I am right. I seek truth above all. My goal is not to be right, but to live aligned with what is real. Those are my affirmations. I say all 8 of those every day, sometimes multiple times a day, right? And I'll do a little bit of visualization work on top of that. But I'm telling you guys, like, there's a reason you guys see a confident fucking person. You see a person who can fucking pull out their phone and record themselves talking in the middle of a gym without their shirt on. Okay? Not everyone's going out doing that. Not simply because they just don't want to do that, but simply also because, dude, there are people who go to the fucking beach with the shirts on. Okay? It takes a certain amount of confidence. I don't get that by just fucking showing up confident. Right? You get that by ingraining it into your subconscious. Undeniable fucking proof. And a part of that is the affirmation so that you can be on the lookout for that fucking proof. So you can start setting up your subconscious mind to identify as being a fit person. Now, we did a lot of talking, right? But here's the reality. This is why most people don't do what they say they are going to do. This is why people drop diets. This is why people drop fucking whole workout programs. This is why people buy a gym membership, go one day, and then don't show up for years and still let that gym membership keep coming out. This is exactly why this happens. It's not because you have you don't have the best program. It's not because you don't have a program at all. It's not because you don't have clarity on what you need to do. It's not because you don't have a good meal plan. It's because you simply aren't showing the fuck up on a day-by-day basis. Because guess what, dude? You will learn all this stuff through the process. All of that stuff comes through the process. But people get stuck at the front door because they want the perfect roadmap. And guess what, dude? This is life. You don't get one. You're going to have to fucking figure it out, Jack. You're going to have to go through the process. And this is what I do with my clients. A majority of what I do with my people is just make sure they show the fuck up, right? I do accountability with my clients. I check and see if they're tracking their calories. I check and see if they're showing up for their workouts. If they aren't, we have a talk together, right? That is enough to help make sure that they're showing the fuck up. After that, it's just about gathering data and tweaking. That's it. It's not that complicated. But people overcomplicate it, And because of that, they don't show the fuck up. And because they don't show the fuck up, they don't identify as being a fit person, and they never will. And you think you're going to get fit thinking that way. Guys, you have to focus. The psychology is everything. Again, I can make you the perfect game plan. I can make you the perfect meal plan. But if you don't show the fuck up, none of it fucking matters. Not one bit of it matters if you don't show the fuck up. So start with that. That's your foundation, is to make sure we are showing up on a day-by-day basis and not letting the feelings of, oh, I'm tired. Oh, I don't feel good today. Oh, something bad happened at work yesterday. Oh, no, like, oh, I'm just going through this big relationship ordeal. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you're going through. This is always still that important. Fuck, dude. Like, shit. You act like all this stuff you go through in life, these problems, these issues, whatever the case may be, like, you still got to show up for work tomorrow. Like, if you have kids, you still got to pick their ass up from school. You still got to feed them. This is the exact same thing. It does not change the fact that this is a responsibility that needs to get done. Okay? So you got to stop treating this shit like a hobby, because it's not a fucking hobby. It's a responsibility. Make sure we understand that part. I would highly recommend, guys, start with an daily affirmation list of just 3. You don't need 8 like I do. I just go balls to the wall with everything I do, right? But like doing 3 affirmations a day, just simple stuff that you say every day, first thing in the morning, when you're looking yourself in the mirror, when you're brushing your teeth, do it every day. And I promise you, within the next 90 days, you're going to see a significant change in your life that you've never seen before, simply because you stayed consistent. Start with the foundation. Okay, that's all I got for you guys for the Saturday stream. It was a long one. I think we went like almost 40 minutes on this live stream. But I had a lot I wanted to go over with you guys. Identity is huge. It's the biggest reason why most people aren't showing up for themselves. And it's the difference between my clients and the rest of the population. My clients get fucking results because they fucking identify as fit people. And if they don't, we work on that identity and we figure out why they don't. Right? And, of course, we make sure they show the fuck up, right? If they show the fuck up for 90 days compared to not showing the fuck up for 90 days before, guys, it doesn't take rocket science. That's a guaranteed result. It's guaranteed. You're doing something more than you were before. It's guaranteed, right? But most of us don't get through that front door because you're scared. You're worried. And we got to remember, guys, there are people out there right now that have done harder things in their life than you have. And if they can do it and they're human beings, so can fucking you. So make sure we understand that. You are not limited. You are a human being. We are one of the most capable animals on this fucking planet. Use that God-given talent. Use that God-given gift of life to push yourself forward and enjoy this life to the best of its capacity before it runs out. You only have so much time, and it's dwindling. We got to make sure you're taking action before you end up 75 and in a wheelchair and not able to move because you just wanted to be lazy all of your fucking earlier years. Okay? And that happens all the time. Guys, just because I make content for people in the age group of like 25 to 45, whatever the case may be, doesn't mean I don't train older people. I've trained plenty of older people in my years. I've trained, the oldest I think I trained was like an 80-year-old, right? But a lot of those people who never got into fitness before they were 80, guys, they struggle bad. They struggle bad. It's a hard time. It's not a fun time. Do not fucking let yourself get in that fucking chair. Don't end up in that same boat. It's not a great place to be. We got to remember, guys, this is for our future. This is so we can live our lives at the best of its capacity, so we can keep pushing forward, so that we can enjoy every living, waking moment as much as we can. Not so we can suffer and complain about it for the rest of our fucking lives. And that's all we do for our lives. Fuck that. Fuck that life. That's it. That's what most people are doing. But I guarantee you, my savages, me, no, we don't do that shit. Okay? That's all I got for you guys today. I'll see you guys on Tuesday. That's the next time we're going to have a public live stream. And I don't know exactly what areas we're going to cover. I'll let you guys know, but I think what we're going to do is we are going to keep it like 3-part series. I think that's a good idea to keep things going throughout the week. So expect a new 3-part series to start on Tuesday. I'll see you guys then. Peace.